You ever get that feeling like you're an actor in a play you don't remember auditioning for? That there are these, I don't know, invisible scripts running your life, telling you what to do, what to believe, shaping your entire reality? Well, that's what we're going to dig into. And that really gets to the core question, right? Are you really seeing the world as it is? Today, we're going to unpack two really powerful ideas that honestly might just flip the switch on how you see, well, everything. All right, so to get our heads around the first big idea, let's talk about these, let's call them the world's invisible glasses. Now, the official term is ideology, but honestly, just picture this. It's like a pair of glasses that society kind of slips on your face the second you're born. So, what's the deal with that? It means that all the stuff we just assume is normal, what a good life is, what a family should look like, none of that is set in stone. They aren't universal truths. They're actually ideas that have been built up over time. And ideology? That's the system that makes these made-up ideas feel totally natural, as real as the ground beneath your feet. And this really hits the nail on the head. It's like you're wearing these glasses you never picked out, but they tint everything you see. And here's the kicker. Everyone around you is wearing them too. So it becomes this shared lens that a whole culture just agrees to look through. But what happens when you don't even realize you've got them on? Well, that's where our second big concept comes into play, false consciousness. This is what happens when those invisible glasses, well, they work a little too good. This term, it actually comes from Marxist theory, and it's basically a state where people just can't see how they're being exploited. Why? Because they've completely bought into the dominant ideology. They've internalized it so much that they actually start defending a system that might not be working in their favor at all. It's that moment you just shrug and say, well, that's just how it is, even if how it is isn't fair. And yeah, this quote is a little jarring, but it's so perfect, right? Bragging about how comfy your prison cell is. It's when you're cheering for the very thing that's holding you down. So, okay, how do these two things, ideology and false consciousness, how do they actually connect? It's actually pretty simple when you break it down. Think of it like this. Ideology provides the script. It's the story we're all told. And false consciousness, that's when you, the actor, believe the script is real life. You've memorized the lines so well you've forgotten it's a play. Okay, I know this can all sound a little academic, a little abstract, so let's bring it down to earth. We're going to look at a few quick, real-life examples where you can see this stuff happening all the time. First up, and it's a huge one, the American dream. So the ideology here, the script, is pretty simple. Anyone can make it if they just work hard enough, right? But this can lead to some serious false consciousness. Because if you're working, say, 2 or 3 jobs and you're still struggling, the script doesn't tell you to question the system. It doesn't point to things like low wages or lack of opportunity. No, it tells you to blame yourself. You start thinking, I'm just not trying hard enough. The problem becomes personal, not systemic. Okay, let's move from the nation to the workplace. How about the corporate family? You've probably heard this one before. Here at this company, we're a family. That's a powerful ideology, right? It's all about loyalty. And the false consciousness kicks in when you get that text on a Saturday asking you to just quickly finish this up. You don't think, hey, this is my day off, you're exploiting my time. You think, oh, the family needs me. It feels like a noble thing to do, not like unpaid labor. All right, how about when we're just out shopping? Yep, these scripts are running there too. Think about the bargain hunter. The ideology is that being a smart shopper, finding those amazing deals is something to be proud of. It's a win. But the false consciousness here is kind of tricky. You feel this rush of success because you saved 20%, but you're not really thinking about how that purchase might support a whole system of overconsumption or the low-wage jobs that make those bargains possible in the first place. And for our last example, let's look at a super modern one, something you see all over social media: hustle culture. So the ideology of hustle culture is all about meritocracy, the idea that your success is tied directly to how hard and how long you're willing to work. And this leads to a really interesting and maybe dangerous false consciousness. Being totally exhausted isn't a warning sign anymore. It's a badge of honor. Burnout isn't a symptom of exploitation. It's proof you're a serious player, that you're truly dedicated. So, as you can see, from big national ideas to just buying groceries, these invisible scripts are literally everywhere. Which brings us to the main takeaway, the big so what of all this. This really puts a bow on it.
Ideology is the script, and it's usually written by those in power. False consciousness is when you've memorized your lines so perfectly that you start to think the play is actually real life.
So, I guess I'll just leave you with this. Now that you can see them, what script are you following? Look, the point here isn't to say every script is bad or evil. Not at all. The goal is just to see them, to be aware of them, because the moment you can see the invisible scripts, that's the moment you get to decide if you want to stick to the lines, or maybe, just maybe, start writing your own.